Okay, so what I want to talk about next, you have your books? Okay, get your books out. Let's turn to the section on 251. This is the white book, the Jazz keyboard book, since we're doing keyboard stuff in this room. Yeah, okay. Well, it won't be the end of the world. Yeah. You need the white ones. Yeah, Lauren, show everybody what that is if you have it. Yeah, it's neither of those. It's this book. Okay, see, it's this book.
I bought that. I thought it was the wrong one.
No, it's what we use in here. Okay, so there's a section, basically what you have done is all the way through page 14. Starting page 15 is the discussion about 251, okay? All right, so give that back. Okay, so I'm gonna write up here something very important to you guys. Hey Spielberg, you may want to come up here and get closer in. This is the cycle of fifths, the real cycle of fifths. And some of you are looking going, but it looks like fourths to me. Well, yeah, it's ascending fourths. Some people call it the cycle of fourths. I call it the cycle of fifths, descending fifths. If you look at your theory text, you will see this same circle, but it will be backwards. Yeah. I like to think of that as a circle of key signatures. Because when I like to think that harmony is progressing around a circle, I like to think it's progressing clockwise around a circle. It would be progressing counterclockwise on that other circle in your theory book. So that's why most of us jazz musicians, we prefer this cycle of fifths. Because again, it's clockwise. So let's look at the chords. Let's say we're in the key of C. Where is the one chord? Well, duh, it's right here. Where is the 5 chord? It's just one previous to it. Where's the 4 chord? Oh. And that's true anywhere on this cycle. What about A flat? If this is 1, where is 5? Right there. If this is 1, where is 4? It's 1 past. Okay? So all your harmonic progression can be seen on this circle. I like to think of, for example, if we're thinking C is tonic, I like to think of the chords that are on this side of the circle as the tension chords. Think of a bow, you know, bow and arrow, a bow. And when the bow's at rest, that's when we're on tonic. When we pull back on the bow, now we have tension on the bow. That would be 5. What if we want more tension? We pull back a little further. So if we pull back a little further, what would that put us on?
2.
A 2 chord. So pulling back a little bit gives us 5. Pulling back more gives us 2. Pulling back even more, 6. Yeah, so we would have a 6 chord. Here's 2. Here's 6. So if I'm having, and then 2, and 6, 2, 5, 1. Even more tension. I just pull back on the tension bow. Okay, I like to think of this as the tension side. I like to think of tonic as home. Home. I like to think of 4 as grandma's house. It's another place that's like home to you. It's a home away from home. Okay? Whereas this is work. This is school. This is where the challenge is. This is where the tension is. Okay? So we have all this tension, and we live with the tension so that we can work our way back to home. Okay? I have a question. How many homes have you lived in? Jay, how many homes have you lived in?
Just one.
Just one. So you are literally, when you go home, it is the place where you were born. Okay. What about you, Adrian? 2. You lived in 2.
Home and an apartment.
Okay, home and apartment here. Okay, so really just one. Okay, what about you, Jenna?
7.
7. Okay, you moved a lot. Okay. Why was that?
Just like to move.
Just moved a lot?
3 years, pretty much.
Oh, okay. So you've had a lot of homes, okay? What about you,
It's been
Lauren?
like over 20.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad was on the PGA, and so we had to move all the time.
Oh, I see. You had to go where the work was.
Yeah,
Interesting.
well, wherever he was touring.
I see. Okay. Very cool. What about you,
I have 4.
Alyssa? Okay. Elizabeth. You 4? 4. Okay. What about you, Kaylee? Just 1? Okay. Kylie. What about you, Cameron? 4 places, Derek? 3. 3. Okay. What about you, Tyler? 15? Wow. So when did you make it to Cleveland? How long have you been here?
Started in Cleveland and then moved around.
Oh, okay, started there, and then, okay. I've been in 7 or 8, so that's quite a few. We will have this conversation again when we talk about modulations and tonicizations, the difference between the two. We'll talk about this again. Okay, so 251, extremely important. In fact, this is probably the most common harmonic progression. It's very close to 1 4 5 1, very close. 2 5 1, but you see it's here, and you can see it in any key on this circle of fifths. And circle of fifths is in your book, by the way. Sometimes you'll hear me say circle, sometimes you'll hear me say cycle. It all means the same thing. Some people call it the cycle of fourths, some people call it the circle of fourths. It's all the same thing. But just remember, it goes C to F, F to B flat, clockwise. So if I were to give you a quiz that had this on it, that you would be writing this in the right direction. Because remember, this is descending fifths. Okay? All right. Okay, so let's look at our voicings. Can everybody play your C major 7 chord? Jake, again, you get to be... okay, so go ahead and play C major 7. Play that like you normally do. Okay? Okay? Now, let's all play the 2 chord of this key. So D minor 7. Good. Okay, but I need to hear C in the thumb of the left hand. Good, good, good. Okay, now let's all hop up to the G7 chord that you played. Just take both hands and slide them up. 1 7 3 5. Okay, but it's F natural. F natural in the thumb. Okay, now let's all slide back down to C. Okay, so you just played a 2 5 1. Do you see how unwieldy that is to have to go all this hopping around? So let me just write up here for you. This is what you did. And then you hopped up to this. And then you hop back down to here. Okay, besides the fact that that's a lot of leaping around, it breaks voice leading rules. Besides, right? What's supposed to happen to this 7th? A 7th going around the cycle of fifths is supposed to resolve down to the 3rd. So that was supposed to resolve down here. Oh, here's a leading tone. What's the leading tone kind of supposed to do? It's supposed to resolve to tonic. Well, it totally didn't. You see what I'm getting at? So we're going to have to make a change right here to make this voicing much smoother. So we want to, first of all, resolve this 7 to the 3rd of the G chord. So if I'm C, I've got my 2, 5, 1. Okay, what about the 3rd? The 3rd of this gets to become the 7th. And now this 7th will resolve down to this 3rd. This will be much smoother. So we're going to do this A. We're going to keep this A, and it will create a 9th. So let's play this now. So go back to your 2 chord, your D minor 7. Okay, now we're going to keep the right hand exactly the same, and now the left hand is going to go G, B. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're going to do that again. Go back to D minor 7. Back to D minor 7. Okay, and then G7 or G9. Good. Now let's go from here to here. What is anchored? The thumb of the left hand stays put. Yeah, okay. So how'd that go? That's definitely much better. It's smoother, it's easier to play, and besides, was observing our voice leading rules. You know, what was hard to sing in 1600 is still hard to sing today.
Well, can you just, I'm sorry, I'm just kinda confused, can you just explain that, like, one more time?
The what?
The progression, yeah, the progression.
Well, we went from 2 to 5 to 1 in the key of C, which means we went from a D minor 7 chord to a G 7, but it has a 9 on it. And then we went to the 1 chord.
Are these all roots?
These are all root position chords because the root, see, the root is in the bass. You see that? It makes sense. So if I were to write all the diatonic sevenths up here, okay, Jay, you probably won't stop this and start another one.